Hello and welcome to another episode of Escapades Play Review Session. My name is Suryansh and joined as usual by Akshat and Amit. So lads, game week 22 is just past us. I know for a fact that both of you have again, performed reasonably well, above average. All three of us scoring more than 80. So yeah, man. This week, as usual, we're going to talk about the hits and miss of the game week that's just gone by. So, new names this week. So, let's start this without wasting any further time. Um, I ask you boys to go first every time. So, this time I'm going to break the chain and give myself that opportunity. And the first player that, I've chosen as my hit is, surprise, surprise, Jesse Lingard. I mean, never have I ever been happier, never have I ever been happier for any other team, after they've scored as much, as I celebrated Lingard's goal for West Ham. It's been a long time coming for the lad. Two goals he scored, brace. Just putting it in there that he has more open play goals than Kevin De Bruyne this season. Uh, so, scored a decent 15 points and looks quite well, looks a part of the West Ham team already. Didn't look out of place. The midfield of Suchek, Rice, and Lingard, it's I think can be really fruitful for West Ham and the kind of season that they're having in the top six. Moyes is doing an excellent job. So at this cheap rate, ownership of less than 2.5%, that's not surprise at all. So Jesse Lingard with favorable upcoming fixtures, with a striker in form, with a midfield partner who's an FPL darling for everybody. I think Jesse Lingard can thrive really, in London and come back a stronger player. And I really, really, really hope to see him in a United jersey again soon. So yeah, that's my pick, first pick for this game week, lads. Any thoughts, Amit?
No wonder your Moise loves continues. And with Jesse, we all have a player that we want to see do well in a West Ham shirt, no less. And Jesse Lingard, for the kind of football basically West Ham are playing right now, the mainly he's gonna be very essential going into the counter attacking part of the game. And with Antonio, he could play that the in behind striker role very well. Antonio can hold the ball up, and then Jesse can be little on the counter. And with Fulham and Sheffield coming up, you have a great pick in Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, definitely. The first performance of the Premier League for Jesse Lingard in West Ham jersey, I think he was exceptional that day. So it was fair enough that for the first game, he's the first pick of the hits of game week 22. It was great to see the performance from, the United player, and hope he does well in West Ham because the more game time he gets, I think he'll get better and better.
100%.
Absolutely, there's no arguing that fact. And at six, he can be a pretty good differential and a cheapie at the same time. So moving forward, lads, the second player that I choose is James Madison. He's slowly but steadily starting to become a regular on our videos now. I've realized this week. Another brace of assists again. So yeah, Madison, like we've discussed earlier in the pod as well. I mean, he's doing everything he can to make himself recognized again, if that's the correct word. Had a cold start to the season, but gradually growing into the season has almost the same number of goals and assists. The ownership the last time we spoke, I guess, was less than 10%. So the 6% hike in the ownership shows that he's constantly paying managers, paying back the managers who are putting faith in him. And with Wadi not being present for the time being, it's between Barnes and Madison as to who takes the mantle as the Leicester's or the Foxes' main man. And I think Madison has been doing that, really, really nicely. Next fixture against Wolves. Not a very one-sided fixture, or at least on paper. Wolves have shown some form of late. Um, So yeah, the price at 7.3 uh, can be a good pick, at least till the time being. Jamie Vardy is not there. If you want a Leicester cover, Madison, I think, is the perfect player from the team, and with the form, it's just going better for the guy. And with the Euros coming up, I guess this is the best time, in terms of attacking midfielders. All attacking midfielders are trying their best, to give in whatever they have for the Euros, and I think that's showing in such a relentless season. So, yeah, lads, the second pick, James Madison. Um, Quite surprised to see he's rocked up 100 points, which is, slowly but steadily he's increasing the returns per week. So yeah, the second pick mine this week is James Madison.
Yeah, definitely the pace at which this guy is raking up points, after missing a few game weeks at the start of the season, reaching the century mark, it's quite impressive because in his absence, I think Barnes was taking the lead along with Vardy. But as soon as he came back into the side, I think he's showing what kind of form he can be in and the kind of player that he is. So yeah, he's a good pick for coming game weeks.
Yeah.
Moving forward, lads, that's it from me this week. Those are my hits for the game week. So yeah, coming to Amit, really intrigued to see who you've picked for this game week, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, just to continue on the Madison point, last season also with Tillemans and NDD, they formed that golden triangle last season. And that midfield was one of the best. I did not even realize until you guys pointed it out that he has already raked 100 points. And much like the England team, and if you are looking for a 7-pointer bracket player, he is competing with Grealish and he's outperforming Grealish in few matches. Although Grealish has been as consistent as you can get, but maybe it's time to switch one of your 9-pointer players to Madison now with the kind of performance he have been raking up. Anyway, I guess enough about Madison. So this week I have gone with players from the same team Suryansh has picked. So first player I've picked is another player who has been with all the Chilwells and your Robertson and your Trent, he has gone somewhat under the radar. Although not under the radar exactly. At the start of the season, he was raking up the ownership and points, and he had a mid-season dip, somewhat mid-season of a dip. And then when as usual, I got him out, and then he started raking up the performances, and no points with guessing it has to be James Justin. Uh, Ever since his breakthrough season last season, uh, the guy has been phenomenal for Brendan Rodgers, and he has been arguably the player of the season for the Foxes. And he has again this week he racked up I guess 14 points this week, and with the Leicester defense that has been not conceding much and been this season with Castane coming in from Atlanta, we all thought the way Castania started, we thought James Justin might find himself on the bench, and it has been quite the opposite since the Castane injury. And you always want to see a young player do well, and James Justin has been doing the job pretty well from Brendan Rodgers. Any pointers, boys?
Akshat, you want
Eh,
to add something to what
Yeah,
Amit?
I think Justin is one of the most consistent defenders that we have seen in the Premier League season this so far. Because although you might not see it through the points that he has scored, but the kind of player that he is, I think he's the player that makes the least amount of mistakes on the field, and he is, I think, one of the best defenders currently in the Premier League.
Also, he's a very versatile player. I was having a conversation before we started recording about the same, that the lads played all positions in the defense, be it left, the right, inner three. It's very encouraging for owners to not only think that the likes of Pereira or Castagna coming back might put his place in jeopardy, but I think he's performed enough. He's done nothing wrong for him to be left out. His returns are showing that, and priced, not very expensive. I'm pretty sure that a lot of FPL owners and managers have had Justin in their team for a very long time. So he's one of those players who's been responsible for a lot of team value increases all around.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Amit, go on,
Okay.
man. Amazing pick as usual. Can't wait for your next one, man. The next pick.
Okay, the next one I've gone with a slightly conventional pick, and although he had a you don't call this week an exceptional week, but he had a very good week, and with an eye on the next couple of fixtures, I've gone with Mikel Antonio. This Moyes, as Surya would vouch for it, Moyes has been performing very well this season. Moyes team, and Antonio, ever since coming back from the injury, when Suribhai got him, and I asked him not to because I wanted him to try out couple of matches, and we both know how it turned out. Anyway, the Antonio has been performing really well, and he has been leading the attack quite well, and especially with West Ham not even getting a striker replacement for Haller, and you could see Antonio on the dream team for the next couple of week also, with Fulham and Sheffield coming up. And he is not just quick with his feet, he bullies the defenders, and he can hold the ball up. He has that shot in him. Yeah. So complete all round player, and with Jesse Lingard behind him, who can play those intricate passes once in a while. So you would see Antonio on this in this our FPL reviews more often than not. And what can I say? The boom player.
Absolutely, I agree. And the likes of Lingard coming in, like you just mentioned, he's going to help Antonio, and vice versa. Also, the Jesse Lingard performing well can only mean one thing, and us as United fans can vouch for that. That he, is keeps the dressing room, or the team morale really up, and that I think will somewhere down the line, with the kind of season West Ham are having, I think that's going to be really important for them during the crunch part of the finale of the season, where it's going to get really, really, really mad. So yeah, man, lovely picks, both of them. Like rightly mentioned, we've covered just two teams, which I just noticed. So no point, um, no, there's nothing special if we come to think of it that Akshat is going to pick somebody from just one team. And I'm sure he's been feeling nine since the very day that a match happened every morning. So, Akshat, yeah, man, I would
Yeah.
like to really think what your pick is going to be from United, if I may put it like that.
Definitely. Because after watching the United game, I was thinking for the review session that how many players of United should we pick? Because the kind of performance that United gave that day, even though, yeah, it was against 10 men, but the kind of intent that we showed that, we are not going to just score one or two goals. We scored 9 goals. So it was a really difficult choice for me, but I'm really happy to, after a long spell, I'm able to choose a United player. So this week, I've gone for the player who scored the first goal against Southampton. It's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I absolutely love this player because for me right now he's the best right back you can get in Premier League. Renowned for amazing tackling. We call him Spider, aka Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So uh, as of now, and giving a return of 17 points against Southampton, I don't think it is a small feat, because we all know that his defensive prowess, because he's very good, but but of late, I think he has been playing really well forward as well, connecting well with Shaw. And the goal that he scored with Shaw giving an assist, I think it was long time coming. This
No,
lad,
I don't even remember. So Akshat, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't even remember the last time one fullback assisted the other in our United
after
in the recent past.
after that goal, everybody has to start thinking Trent Robertson, who, I mean, the partnership that the left back and right back for United, I think it's really amazing to see. And it was just a simple touch with which he scored. And also, the assist, FPL wise, that he gave. I think behind him there was a United player. If Bednarek did not touch or did not get a touch, I think that would also have
Could
been a
be a
goal.
goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
89 points for a right back, and at a price of 5.5. Now this guy has, for FPL managers, now it has become a difficult decision that even after for tripling up for United assets, if you have to get in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, whom can you put out? Because the kind of performance given by United players like Martial, Rashford, Bruno, as always. So it is very difficult to get Wan-Bissaka in your team.
Plus,
And
if I may add one more point, uh, because United don't have a natural right winger, you will see Aaron Bissaka taking up those advanced position from the right wing.
yeah,
So
definitely.
generally, what happens is Rashford cuts inside even from the right, or tries to go wide and put in the cross, and Van Bissaka then has the space left all to himself, where he tries to cross, and he will get this opportunity. And this week, this was not a week for the German managers, and you could say that. And you can arguably pick any of the players from the United team, and we'll be happy to defend them. But Van Bissaka, you know, gold.
The
No,
because
absolutely. I was
the kind
go
of
on, Akshat.
attacks that the kind of runs that he has started to take, and he's not afraid to fall back as well, because I remember a moment where Che Adams gave a through ball to uh, Danny Ings, and this lad came from behind and he gave such a beautiful tackle to stop that goal. I mean, that spider tackle, it was the moment for me. It was the moment of the match for me, because after putting that kind of performance, you would not want your team to concede even a single goal. And I think that tackle saved that clean sheet as well. Another stat for Wan Bissaka, that lad has 77 blocks this season, and it is almost 3.85 blocks per match. Again, the highest for a defender, for any defender in Premier League this season. This is a key reason that AW can easily crack bonus points if United keep a clean sheet. And now the more important thing for United, or getting Wan Bissaka as an asset, is that if he is consistent in keeping clean sheets, then I think he can be a permanent defender in any FPL team. So yeah, this was my pick for game week 22. Uh, now,
No surprise on the team. Although, like Amit mentioned, no surprise what team you picked, but surprised that you picked Aaron Van Bissaka for me. But, personally, if I would have made the choice, it would have been Luke Shaw, just because yes, he played 45 minutes, but because the lad's being is always receiving a lot and lot of stake, managers and everybody, and it's just so good to see him just enjoy his football, make correct decisions, and
Luke Shaw looks so composed, even when he's making those lung bursting runs and everything. He's like this Rohit Sharma of Manchester United, because he always has this. He looks so calm, even when he lets his man go and he goes past and scores. He still looks so calm.
no,
no,
good
but
point. And another player that we could have picked would have been Marshall, because the two goals that he scored and the kind of finish that he showed. I think that is what is expected of him. And I think that after a long spell, I think that kind of finish Marshall brought into the game. And even he scored around 13 points. So even he
Yeah,
could
man.
have
I
been.
mean,
So,
nine goals and eight different goal scorers. Tells you a
eight
lot
different
about
goals.
the kind of
Another
options they
stat
had.
that our friend Anand was telling us that if Fred could have given an assist now, then it would have been 12 United players who gave returns. 12 United players giving returns, high returns. So, but
But that is something
shout out to
I am
Fred
I'm
as well
sure.
So
because
I think enough
Uh,
about returns. Let's talk about no returns.
yeah, I mean that is something that we've not been able to talk about this video. We're just talking to Amit before this video, Akshay, that on how all fixtures this week have gone per plan. I mean, I don't when I open as a football fan, when I open the conclusion or whatever happened in game week 22, I don't I'm not shocked everywhere apart from just one fixture, like Amit said, not a week for German managers. So it's time we talk about the misses of the game week 22 that's just gone by. And for that, I'd like to, talk to Anand about that because let's burst the bubble for all our viewers. We just have one miss for the game week. And for that one miss, I'd like to call Anand. Hi, Anand. And I'd like to
Uh,
give you 2 minutes
if
to
I may
talk to us.
interject, we wanted to
Yeah.
get speech, but he was unavailable, so we have to get Anand for this.
No.
Uh,
Anand, please,
so
man.
guys,
Talk to us.
regarding regarding Salah, I think uh, the captainers were unlucky, and Brighton played really well. It was their fourth consecutive clean sheet, and that's something that really impressed everybody.
I still
So
I still remember just before the deadline. No, Anand, I remember you messaging me that Trossard is too good for this Liverpool defense. And as soon as I saw the result and saw Trossard assisting or scoring, assist, I guess it was right. I just could recall that and thanked you for that because I was about to get a Liverpool defender in my team and I did not.
yeah, so basically the centre back pairing is always going to be a problem for Liverpool until Van Dijk returns. So whosoever they play, let's see how the new signings, Ben Davis and the other Turkish guy, let's see how they
Ozan
are.
Kabak.
Yeah, so but still, with that centre back pairing, which is not consistent at all, like Klopp is fielding anybody over there at the moment. Anderson is taking up the duty, doing pretty well over there, and that is why they just conceded one. But still, they look open at the back. Their back line doesn't look good. But still, with Robertson and Trent, you can expect returns because they are really good. They have the quality. So usually there are plenty of teams out there who play long balls, but when Liverpool play long balls, they are like proper passes because they are so pinpoint and they are not hopeful in by any chances. And Salah, so in the next match when Mane returns, I think that will be a little bit good. That will be better for Liverpool, even with Firmino up top. So all three combining together against City. So Cancelos and Zinchenko, they are good with the ball at their feet, but defensively they have not been tested enough, and this could be a real good test for them. But yes, this game week, unlucky for the captainers again. But yes, I think um, without Mane, it was always going to be a risk, and
Anand,
everybody
I'd
would have
like
been.
to interrupt you again, just about talking about how magical this FPL is, right? I remember us having a conversation last week on the preview that, and we were discussing on how threatening Salah can be when Mane is not playing. We talked about
Yes,
how he scored 20 goals in 21 appearances without Mane, and here we are today talking
absolutely,
about how here we are talking about how Mane's
absolutely.
absence is hindering how Salah is doing. So
Yeah, because
that's one
because
conundrum.
most of the matches, because really good point, Suryansh, because most of the matches that Salah had played without Mane were also in the presence of Virgil van Dijk, and Virgil van Dijk is a big miss for them. It's no excuse, but to lose matches, because we've seen Liverpool earlier when they did not have a good defense, they still ended up scoring a lot of goals and used to win 4-3 or 4-2, something like that. But now, in the last match, when it comes to XG, Brighton recorded 1.1 XG and Liverpool recorded just zero point 0.7. So, just a few weeks back, we were talking about Brighton as a very leaky defense. But when it comes to this week, Liverpool's struggles up top continues. They'll have to find some other way to open the gates. As of now, it just seems like they're crossing the ball and they're playing pinpoint balls to Salah. But, you know,
Another
it
thing.
is difficult because
Before Amit, you say anything, I just got to know a thing before our recording that you were in two minds whether to bring in Salah or not. And I think Anand was the one that helped you make the decision that you should
He
not
asked me
bring
to get in
Salah.
Salah, so I did not. End of the story. Okay, yeah. I think most of my FPL points, what happens is whenever I am confused about something, I generally I look at I look to Anand for for his invaluable wise ass opinions, and he really guides me in the right path, as with Bamford or Salah or Rashford, you know. He does have his misses too, but yeah, most often than not, he gets it right for myself rather than himself. Anyway, so another thing I wanted to add was, so when KDB got injured 3 weeks back, you could have either gotten Sterling or Salah. So what has happened with this Salah blank is, now the 3 cumulative points of the Salah game week has been evened out with Sterling. Sterling did not start the midweek game. Now Sterling has accumulated around 19-20 points from this 3 game weeks, and Salah, despite having that boom week in between, has again at 12.6 even, he has again collected 20 points only. So even if you had gotten Sterling and stuck with him, your points have been evened out.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's a good point. And
another reason that Salah is the big miss of this game week, because last week he was one of the hits of game week, and the kind of performance that he showed, I think he deserved to be there. But just after that, that performance with a you know a losing cause performance and not able to score against Brighton, which we talked that he had a they have a leaky defense in the past game weeks. So I think that was a major reason that we stuck with only one miss, and it was Mohamed Salah.
On that note, lads, it's been a long episode. It's been an insightful episode. Thank you so much, Anand, for joining us and giving us
It
your
was a
take
pleasure
on
to come to this.
giving us a take on what Salah and how Salah performed. That was immaculately done. As for the two of you, it'll keep on going. I'm sure we'll have more insightful talks in the coming game weeks. Till then, please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Write to us whatever you guys want us to talk about, discuss, debate. A debate between Anand and Amit, if anybody's up for it. I happily bring my popcorn, and I know lads who will too.
You can't have debates with people who change their statements.
See, this is what I mean. So if you want something like this,
just
you
to
want
talk
something
of
like this,
just
yeah,
to talk of debate, and he started debating. So yeah,
two good
it would
friends,
make a
two good
great episode.
footballing minds, going at it at each other. So yeah, till next week, lads. May the arrows be green, and I'll see you soon, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.